Welcome to the podcast. It's Mr. Ish. We're here at Kips Bay Boys and Girls Club, Who Dare Clubhouse. After school, today we have some special guests. Put them on the spot. I always do this, so this is nothing new. I got the interns from BECA, or the ones that are trying to get internship here. So I'm going to have them introduce themselves. Give me your name. You don't have to give me your age if you don't want to, but at least give me your name, and we'll know who you're talking to. We'll start on over here, and we'll go around. So give me your name. Shakira. That's who's here. Shakira. Shakira's here. Who else is here? Jalis. And last but not least.
Dennis.
Dennis got that Barry White voice. So we got, welcome guys. We also got another one. She's over there hiding. That's okay because her podcast is going to be so long when I catch her. It's going to be extra.
And with cameras.
I'm going to put the cameras on, the lights and all that good stuff. So guys, welcome. This was your first day / interview / we showed you around the building. Hopefully y'all got the job, even though Miss Brittany said you'll do. And you're starting tomorrow. It's on and popping. We ain't playing around with you guys. It's right to the what do they call that? The Wolves' Den or something like that. How do you feel? How do you feel your interview went? You guys were nervous? How?
Normal. I was nervous.
You was not nervous? You look nervous. Dennis didn't look too nervous, but everybody else. I mean, it's hard. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's the first time, and you know, like, oh my God, I don't know what to say and stuff like that. So it gets a little nerve-taking, but it's it's a process. You guys are gonna have to get out your shell eventually and speak, in front of things. So this is just a little practice on that. So how do you think your interview went? What was the highlight for you in your interview? Like what answer you thought you did well in?
When she asked, like this feels mad weird. When she first asked, like, talk about yourself. Yeah. That answer, you heard my answer? Yeah.
See, she had a good answer.
That was fire.
Say a little bit about yourself.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean,
and then
I have a different process, but that's not fair for me to think of how you guys fit just because I've been doing it a little longer, and so I know that if I had to interview with Miss Brittany, I always crack jokes. I think that jokes, in certain spots, they kind of like bring down the person's guard. So like if she was to ask me that, tell me a little bit about yourself, I would just be like, do you have a lot of time? I would just say something like that just because you'll be like, oh, this guy likes to talk. So, that's the way I would do it, just to kind of like, basically just tell her like, I'm willing to do this, but at the same time, I'm kind of a funny person. I would do it in that way, respectfully in that way. But that's just me, I have a little more experience. It's going to be, but for you guys, I don't think your answers were bad. Like I told you before when we walked in here, I think it's just the eye contact, the playing with your hands and all that stuff. Like that's just what 17-year-olds do. Just talking to someone and looking them in the face, that's kind of hard. That's a hard thing. Like right now, I'm looking at Dan. He's looking away. I'm staring at him like right in his eyes, and he's like, yeah. He looked at me for 2 seconds, and then he's just like, all right, he's staring at me, and he looked aside. But in reality, in work, if someone if I'm interviewing somebody and they have that confidence, that makes me feel good about the person I'm talking to, because it makes me feel like, yo, you could look at me in my face at my level, and okay, cool, I like that. I like that we could, look at each other and speak like that. So to me, that's always a positive. I try to tell my kids that now, and they're 9 and 5, the little ones. My older kid, I don't even think I could put his head up. But when you interviewing, you have to look at a person in the face and kind of feel like this, just a conversation. Like this particular thing, I don't think it's hard. Podcasting, I could talk about anything. I talk about nails. I talk about your hair. I talk about sports. I could talk about sneakers. I'm so broad in whatever you want to talk about. We just talked about aliens. I have no idea about aliens, but I do watch a lot of alien shows, like shows about Discovery Channel and stuff like that. So I feel like I could have a conversation about anything. So I think I also you have to take this like a debate class. How sometimes you ever had debate class? Do we have that in our school? We don't have much in our school. Please, no shout out to Becca again. Debate class when I was in high school, it was very important because it made us, pick a topic. And sometimes you agreed on the topic, sometimes you didn't, but it made us pick both sides. And that was kind of good. It's just arguing. That's all it is. Just arguing about something. And I think at your age, you guys argue about everything. So it's pick a topic and just argue about it. So that's what it is. Why you're so quiet? Why you playing with your nails? I just told you that you just have to focus. Focus
You're not
now.
talking to me though. So
I'm talking to everybody. This is a conversation. This is a table, a machine, and microphones. That's all it is.
But how am I supposed to respond to what you're saying?
If you were in the lunchroom, you talk right over me, right?
No.
When you come to my office in Becca, you talk, and she's talking to me. You're both asking me questions at the same time, and it's not a problem. This is the place to do it. The only thing that you're being recorded. Now, right now, when I put this podcast up, none of you said nothing besides your names.
What can we talk about? You
Everything.
Said to
Talk
say
about
our
how you
names.
feel about this interview process. How do you feel about
Okay. So, the interview. What you want me to do? The mic is right in my mouth.
the mic? You heard me doing that? I don't do that. You don't hear me
Alright.
breathing. I'm breathing, obviously, because I'm alive. But you don't hear me go.
You don't hear me breathing either.
You don't hear that. You don't hear me sucking my lips.
Yo.
But I'm obviously, my lips are moist.
Alright.
So it's not like it's not a. Go ahead.
Pero tú no dices nada de esa interrupción, ¿verdad?
So stop. No, don't worry about this. That
Oh.
nothing stops the podcast.
Alright.
Don't worry about it.
Alright,
Even if
alright.
my boss walks in here, it don't stop a podcast.
Alright,
It keeps
alright.
going.
Alright, so what I feel about the interview.
The
right?
first thing is that you sounds funny because you keep moving your microphone. Once I say hello and all that, just leave your microphone there. You'll be all right.
Okay.
Now you sound like you far away.
What you mean? That sounds
Just talk. I'm sorry, Shakira.
okay.
Go ahead, talk.
Does it sound better now?
It sounds wonderful.
Alright.
Go ahead.
What I feel about the interview. Alright.
I don't want to hear it now.
Yo.
I don't want to hear it now. Dennis, how do you feel about the interview? I waited till she got prepared, and now I don't want to listen to her. How do you feel? How do you feel you did?
I feel I did all right, but like I said, like so many times.
Yeah.
Like,
The
oh my God.
and the likes were incredible.
It's because like I don't know, like I'm doing it right now.
I know, and then like, but that's because that's nervousness, and that's because obviously you weren't prepared. This is like your first thing. When you actually sitting down in front of somebody, you have to really stop that. You have to. You know how we I don't want to call it this, but how we talk to our friends and how we talk in a business way, it has to be two different ways. If you catch me on a Sunday when I'm talking to my friends about football, you'll be like, this guy, he is a pirate. That's how dirty my mouth is.
Oh.
Because there's
Yeah.
nothing that doesn't come out that doesn't have a curse every two other words. But I also have kids, so I can't talk about my kids like that. I can't do that because then they'll do it. So I obviously, in my jobs, I can't do that. When have you heard me cursing Becca? No?
Never.
In my
You
mind,
can talk.
in my mind, I'm cursing you out. In my mind, like I can't stand it. Look at them. I'm over there with it. I'm like, I can't stand it. I'll be like, it'll be like that's how my mind works. Yo, these damn scenes, they I'll be in my mind. That's how I'm talking. But I can't talk like that because it's a environment where you're not really supposed to be doing that. So you have to do that, and you have to stop the that will annoy me. That would.
Yeah.
That would annoy me. Because of your age, I'll let a lot of that pass. But if I was interviewing somebody and they were 21 years old and they were talking to me like, yeah, and like I said, okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I could your resume could be awesome. You could have finished, college and you could be fit on paper for it. But I don't want you with me. I don't. That's not the kind of environment that I want to put you in. I don't want you talking to a parent if you're gonna be like, yeah, well, you don't understand, Missy, because no, it's not like that. I'm gonna call you Miss Allen. Your child did this and that, and I'm sorry to tell you, but I'm gonna suspend your child. Oh my God, I can't. I'm very sorry, but you have to be aware that there's rules and regulations here. That's how I'll speak to someone. Now, if you catch me in the street, I'll probably be a little different. But in here, that's the way I have to speak to them, and the staff too. I joke with staff all the time. But if I'm serious and they see it in my face, don't talk to me like that. Like I'm not handling that. But you have to be able to do that. And it's kind of hard. But this is the first time, really going through it. But besides the ums and the nail clickings and all that stuff, I think you did all right. You did all right. I would give you a 60. I would give you a 60. And Becca, that's an A+. And Becca, and that'll be an A plus in Becca. Yeah? No, I always shout out Becca. Don't worry about it. Becca brings me interns for the last 7 years. We got a couple here. We got JC still working over here. She's still being trained though. She's still on probation. It's only been a year and a half when she's on probation though. You know, she's a slow learner. That's what we call them.
I'm a slow learner.
You can't be that slow because you only got 60 hours of internship here. So you don't be that slow because by the time you learn how to walk up the 4 flights, we may have to already tell you that your job is over. So you got to learn these things quick. All right, so listen. I don't want to keep you on the spot. It's already 10 minutes. Y'all got to go home. There's stuff y'all got to do
Lord.
before tomorrow. Anything you want to say? You want me to post this podcast, or you want me to be like, nah?
No.
Be all right?
It's okay.
All right, I'll get you on another one. I just wanted to put you on the spot, but sooner or later you're gonna do a podcast.
What you mean
Because-
I'm doing it right now?
I know, but you don't want me to post it. So what I'm gonna do with this? I'm gonna throw it in the garbage if you don't want me to post it, or maybe I should just post it and see if we get a lot of listens.
This was fun. Even though I didn't say anything.
Yeah, very quiet. The one thing that you can't do on the podcast is be quiet.
You can't do?
You can't. I tell the little kids that I don't care if you're talking over me, but you can't be quiet because then it's just me talking.
Can you curse?
No.
Not really. I mean, if it was a podcast that I wasn't posting like for Kips Bay Boys and Girls Club, the ones that pay me and the ones that bought the equipment, if it wasn't for them, I've done other podcasts with staff members that, you know, it's not with the kids around and we just go straight at it. But I don't post those in this particular site. You know, those are like private ones. But I do have the same setup in my house. And when I do podcasts with my girls are awesome. My little daughters, they're great. They do makeup tutorials. I gotta show you a video.
Cute.
Yeah, they got a green screen in their house and everything. They don't play around. My little one uses a camera. She's real good. She was doing the camera work yesterday. Her little sister was dancing and she was like taking the iPad and going around her like in the 360 so she could do a 360 view. She was doing it. She was doing her thing. She's good. You know, these are the jobs of the future, man.
These are the future voters of
That's
the
true.
United States.
The future voters of America. And this is if you want to become you. Who wants to be YouTube famous?
Not me.
Not you?
That
Alright.
dream is over. Like,
That dream is over.
Yeah.
The little kids always say, "I want to be YouTube famous." I'll be like, "Come on, man! I'm giving you a free YouTube famous right now." I said, "I'm giving you 12,000 listeners as soon as I plug it in." Well, I don't have the other part out, but I have another piece that goes right here, and it automatically with the cameras, it automatically goes to all social media. So it'll go to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Stitch, everything live. So and then I could change the camera angles and all that stuff. It's pretty cool. It's called the Switcher.
Lord.
Yeah, I have the best equipment. I ain't gonna lie to you. They buy me whatever I want. So I'm spoiled. And JC hates it. JC thinks that all the money from Kips Bay is spent on me, which is probably right. A lot of it is, but you know, they believe in me. My bosses. I love you guys. I love you, man. Yeah, give my bosses a shout out. All right, we're out of here. We're
Yep.
done.
yeah.
You did a lot of talking. I could pay you for as many words as you did today.
We didn't.
I'm gonna pay you by the words. You got about 12 cents. You got 11, and I didn't even let you. You got a whole bunch of lies and a whole bunch of that stuff. All right, we're out of here.
Check, 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 1 2 1 2, check, 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 check.